Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Thursday Night Frights. This is Alan. I am your host and my co-host, sitting right directly to my, well, he's not really next to me, but he's kind of next to me. Chris, how are you tonight, sir?
Doing well. And don't ruin it for the viewers. We're right next door.
Right next door with a state and a half or two between us.
Kentucky, so it's close.
Yeah, Pennsylvania, Kentucky, whatever. Anyway, that all being said, ladies and gentlemen, cheers to you. Hopefully you're having a wonderful day.
Absolutely.
I'm glad to see you. And tonight it's kind of a special night for us. We were discussing wanting to talk. Actually, this is something we've been talking about for a while, but when it came down to actual application, it became a lot harder than either one of us thought. We were talking tonight, being in the month of February, being the second month, we have decided to talk about our favorite seconds. In other words, the sequels. Now, we could cheat and say, my favorite sequel is, the fifth episode or installment of whatever franchise, but we made ourselves stick to the number 2, right? Because of February. So but in application, man, Chris, what did you struggle with this one?
Yeah, because we were talking about like the second time something's being done, and then we were like, well, reboots is kind of a second thing, and it was like, okay, extremely hard. My list of 30 down to 29. This is hard enough. Let's separate this, and we'll do like the reboots as a requel kind of thing, and we'll do the number 2s, the sequels that come out for this episode. So that narrowed the list down to about 15 to 16. I got down to about 12, and that was left for the last few days of really whittling away, because there's going to be some names that aren't said tonight, and they deserve love too. But there's only so much time we could devote towards a show talking about it.
I literally, it was in the same boat. I at one point in time, I mean, and you all know that Chris and I don't really talk about our show until the night of the show. This was my only response to him, is I sent him a text, said, "Hey, whoever it was that thought of this whole sequel thing is a dick, because this sucks."
I said he deserves a strongly worded letter that I will hit send at some point.
so yeah, it was because I, just like you said, I told him, I said, I'm at 30 and I have no clue how I'm going to get down below 5, because that was our goal, was try to get down below 5 so we wouldn't be here for hours upon hours upon hours upon hours. Although we would love that, no one else would watch it.
We would. Live stream kind of hard.
Because that's kind of who we are. And so far in the chat room, we do have a couple of friends with us. LG is here and Mar is here. God bless you. We love you guys. Thank you so much for being here. But before we go any further, what do you say we hit the button? You want to hit it?
Let's do the button.
Let's do the button. All right, guys, hold on to your hats. Here we go.
Frights. We're here to be your guide through horror, chills, they'll set the tone. Thursday nights, you're welcome home. So join the fright, don't miss the show. Alan and Chris are here, ready to go. They'll roast, they'll toast, they'll recommend what's creepy, what's campy, they'll horror. Thursday night, feel the scare. Horror talk beyond.
That is so much fun. Thank you so much. I'm sitting there in the chat, looking at the chat, and people saying, I love the song. And Ubaldo's like, pump up the volume.
Yeah.
I love it, guys.
It's like we didn't get to hear it in a while.
No, because we didn't hit the button last week, so it feels like we haven't hit it in a while. So I appreciate everyone being here and all your wonderful comments, and we thank you so much for it because we love it. And look who else just came in, Tina. All right, Tina. I tell you what. Again, this was a hard one, Chris. If I had the virtual coin, I'd flip it right here and say, who wants to go first, and
Go for it, man.
All right. So here's
this
again,
was difficult, and it's all your damn fault. And
this is all my fault. So I guess I'll go
spotlight's on you, buddy.
All right. So so what I decided to do is I kind of wrote a small synopsis, if you will, and I figured I'd read the synopsis, and then Chris and I could discuss it. You guys in the chat can join in at any given time, and I'm going to start mine. Again, trying to narrow everything down. With one exception, I've kept all of mine to be modern horror. So things that have been made basically in the 2000s and newer. And this one is a relatively new one that I was absolutely in love with. Black Phone 2. This to me is a superior film than the original, even though I love the original. For a very scientific reason. It finally gives us the sequel we deserve instead of making us sit through another 90 minutes of kid plus rotary phone equals mile peril. The first movie was solid, like ordering a cheeseburger and getting exactly a cheeseburger. Tasty, reliable. Ethan Hawke was great, breathing through a devil mask. But the Black Phone 2,
it was like a paintbrush stroke of Supernatural through the first one, and the second one was like, no, take the whole pail, throw it at the wall.
Black Phone 2 is the same cheeseburger, except someone spiked the bun with ghost chili, replaced the patty with nightmare fuel, and let Grabber come back from the undead. Slasher, who apparently skipped anger management and went straight into full poltergeist Karen mode. It's bigger, it's meaner, it's wider, it's weirder, and way more willing to say, screw it, let's make a fever dream slasher with actual stakes. I loved Black Phone 2. What do you think, Chris?
I'm with you, man. It was not, if you are looking for the same type of movie as Black Phone 1, you're way off. It is completely different, but it takes Ethan Hawke's character to another level of evil, and it really hits, man. It slaps.
It really does. And also, I think the thing that made this one so much more fun was, in the first one, you had the the male boy, the young character, being the main character, and his sister being the backup to him. So you had Finn, and then you had Gwen, his sister, kind of filling in. In this one, they role reverse that, and Gwen is the main character, and Finn is the family backup to her. And I thought that was very well done. And I honestly believe that the Gwen's character carried this movie. She did such a great job of selling the psychic part of it,
the emotional part of it.
In the emotional part of it, as well as this movie, really paid homage to some great movies of the past
on that too,
like Nightmare on Elm Street and things like that, without stealing from them.
Nope.
But I thought it was great. I really did.
They came out as little homages here and there, not like we took this and we ran with it. No, it was it was just a hit on
Uh-huh.
that note, and
Yep.
I think it worked really well.
I do too. And in the scene in the kitchen, I
Mm.
thought was just great. I just thought it was great. Ethan Hawke was fantastic. If you haven't seen this movie, it is highly, highly recommended. I can't wait for Chris and I to do a full spoiler breakdown on
Yeah.
this one. I think you guys will really like it. So Black Phone 2 is my first recommendation on number twos. Chris?
Nice. Nice. I'm gonna take us way back in time for my first one here. It is a movie I believe that still kind of holds up today for innovation. It's technological prowess, as well as the small details through a movie that you don't get to see a lot nowadays. 1935, Bride of Frankenstein.
Oh my God. I was hoping you were going to bring up Pride. I purposely stayed away from Universal because of that. Oh,
It's hard once you dip your toe in Universal. Oh, there's so much requels, prequels, sequels. It's all in there that you could choose from. You'd be stuck there. So, but I did want to come back and touch upon this movie because I think it really holds today. I mean, we're talking. There's campiness to it.
yes,
The
there is.
impressive makeup, the use of models in the. It was. I thought it was a really good movie. It's a fun movie.
Yes, it is.
And we've got Boris Karloff, man. I mean,
For me personally, the thing that I loved about the Bride is that it was real, other than other than the miniature people. Because if Doctor, I can't ever pronounce his name right, Pregarius or whatever, can
right.
make little people, he's actually a god. But but the grounded part of the plot, I think this was Boris Karloff at his best, as far
Oh,
as not
yeah.
maybe not even just for the Frankenstein role, but through a lot of the Universal roles. He was so good in this movie.
Yeah.
And then of course, the Bride. And it's funny that you brought that one up because I joke with my wife all the time. I tell Mara, I said, we are Frankenstein and the Bride, and she says, "What?" I said, "We were made for each other." Um,
Right.
Only she likes me, and she's not scared of me.
That's good.
Great choice, Stevie. Great choice.
That's a good one. And we also have. I mean, you had the prologue of Mary Shelley. I mean, it's just it's if you haven't seen this and you are a horror fan, especially of any type horror, brand new horror, 80s horror, watch this movie and you will pick up on all of the little things that movies hit right,
Yes.
especially even nowadays, because it's these little subtleties that can really make something that'll end up going into the Library of Congress as something that should be saved,
Which it
So,
has been put in
yes.
the Library of Congress. I'm going to disagree with one statement you just made,
Okay.
and that's a simple one. Are you ready? I don't care if you're a horror fan or not. Almost everyone has some familiarity with the Frankenstein monster. I
Right.
don't care if you're a fan of horror. You should still watch The Bride.
Oh, excellent film.
Beautiful film, beautifully made, and the story that it's telling is heartbreaking. Very good film. Very, very good film. Yeah, I agree.
That's my number one. I'll take that.
Excellent. See, I didn't put mine in any particular order. That's the
I just kind of gave that because it's OG. Its status as a true sequel
yes.
to 1931 Frankenstein. So yeah, I think that sets the tone. The rest of them, it's all a tie, as far as I'm concerned.
So my second, again, staying in modern horror, is Smile 2. Smile 2 to me definitely outshines the original in almost every terrifying way. Honestly, it's a rare sequel that makes you wonder if the first movie was just a warm up of creepy grins. Parker Finn takes the already solid curse concept and cranks it up to 11 by planting it in a bright and shiny world of the pop star Naomi Scott. We'll talk about her in just a minute. She deserves every award that the Scream Queen could possibly get. Suddenly, the horror, it's just grief makes you see dead people smiling. Instead, it's your entire career is built on faking happiness while with trauma and demons literally trying to eat your face on live TV. The kills are bigger. They're bloodier. They're more unhinged. The fake outs are crueler. The dark humor is sharper. I tell you what this movie does. It literally says, Hold on just a second here. It says it cranks up to the point where it Smile 2 flashes its grin and says, yeah, hold my microphone. Watch this. It is that much better of a movie, in my humble opinion.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. It does take it's like it's Spinal Tap. Like most of them go to 10.
Yeah.
Go to 11.
I thought this whole, it follows style monster, ring style monster of being cursed and then spending the rest of the movie trying to find your way out of the curse. I thought that this particular one, how they did it in the pop star world, where she's been in a car wreck, she's had these addictions. So all this stuff that's going on to her, people are just think she's just falling back into her addictions, and she has no way to really tell them what's going on. And by the end of the movie, you don't know if you're seeing, demonic possession, or is this hallucination, or in the very end, and again, if you haven't seen it, you need to. You ready for the next 30 seconds? Spoiler alert. Here we go. All right. Now the monster, spreads by you seeing it kill the person in front of that's cursed in front of you. Well, she's a pop star. She gets killed in front of an arena full of thousands of people. Literally, it could be that everyone there is now cursed.
The potential victim.
Yeah, the potential. But now, okay. So back to the non-spoiler part of it. Just Naomi. You talk about someone who carried the movie on their glitter shown shoulders.
It's true.
Every scene in it, when she's in it, it's like you want to stop breathing, and she is so good.
Yeah. And this, I like you had mentioned, the It Follows movies, this contagion that is a curse, and how it spreads, how it affects people. And this is a good movie to where you can say it's a mental health metaphor all day long and be correct, definitely. And be completely correct. At the same time, you can say this is something that you feel on a spiritual level, that you're surrounded by literal demons at all times. And so the real world connection to this film makes it that much creepier. So when they take this one and bring it to the next level from the first one, it really hits home. And you're right, it does outshine the first one by quite a bit.
So here's a little thing that I didn't know if you knew, right? Did you know that this is actually an official franchise now? Because this is actually the third film, not the second.
Is it?
Well, the reason I say that is because Smile was actually based on Parker Finn's short called Laura Hasn't Slept, which is where they introduce the entity.
Okay.
And I didn't know this. I have to watch it. I have to find it. Watch it. It's called Laura Hasn't Slept. And the first girl that gets killed in the first Smile movie, the first victim that you see is Laura.
Oh,
right. Which I didn't know this until I was doing the review for this, doing some digging for this. So yeah, Laura Hasn't Slept. We have to find it. So I kind of cheated because it's kind of a third, even though it's actually Smile 2. But you know what I'm saying.
I got you.
So
we'll have to look up.
We need to find that one and watch it together. That'd be a lot of fun. All right, Chris, your next movie.
All right, so I'm going to reach into my bag and spin this list of a bunch of that I have to filter through anyway, because we made a change to be part one. I am going to go to 1986, back to the good old 80s. These horror movies that ruined us at young ages. This one I saw when it came out, way too young, because I'm a little younger than Alan. Just Poltergeist 2, The Other Side.
Nice call.
This movie, it is darker. The whole cast is back, which when you can see a true sequel come and you have everyone come back, but not everyone coming back, not just that, but the resettling of this poor family that was terrorized.
Oh, yeah.
And the Reverend Henry Kane his performance, his way of creating this tension, and the lore we get behind of the poltergeist. And it's more than just an Indian burial ground. There's so much that we get out of this movie.
Yes.
That I mean, it's I thought it was really good. It came out when I was young. I saw the first one, I think not too long before the second one I watched. So I kind of saw them too close together. Man, these movies scared the shit out of me.
I'll tell you what, the Poltergeist, the first one especially,
Mhm.
there was no way that rating should have been what it was. I'm telling you right now. But
Maybe they had something going when they were like, we have to take a look at these things, but
yeah. So I'm
PG.
going to share. I'm going to share a story. I'm not going to share the whole story, but part of it. My wife comes home from work.
Oh no.
And her son had stacked the chairs like poltergeist in the kitchen, and she freaked out. Oh, there was more to the story that we
Oh no.
but yeah, I was like, oh my god, that is so bad, so funny, but so bad. Anyway,
Yeah. This was an emotional train ride, a spiritual train ride. The horror in this one, top tier. It scared the crap out of me. It was one of those movies that stuck with me as a kid.
I
So
agree. I
yeah,
agree. Absolutely. So much fun. So much fun. All right. Well, you went to the 80s.
I went to the 80s.
I'm going to the 80s.
Go to that. Let's stay back here for a minute.
1983.
Ooh.
Psycho 2.
Psycho 2.
I'm going to be one of those guys. I have the utmost love and respect for Psycho. I think it is one of the greatest films ever made. I enjoyed Psycho 2 so much better,
Yeah.
only because it should not have worked under any circumstance. But boy, it stands as one of the greatest horror sequels ever made because it defies the odds of trying to follow Alfred Hitchcock's untouchable masterpiece. Instead of a lazy cash grab,
Yeah.
it delivers a smart, suspenseful, continuous respect of the original while forging its own path. Anthony Perkins was wonderful as Norman Bates, showed us a Norman Bates that was even had greater depth. It turned him into the film's tragic and sympathetic lead that you never fully understood whether or not it was Mother coming back or not, making the kills. They left you guessing through the whole thing. It was nowhere near your standard slasher fare. The script piles on clever twists, laced with dark humor, genuine surprises, and moments of real pathos. And I'm going to tell you right now, the very ending, when he this movie was made in 83. If I'm spoiling it, then it's not my fault. When he,
Right.
he's not, you find out he's not the killer. He takes the shovel to the lady's head because let's face it, Norman's never going to be the same unless his mother's sitting in the window. And then he walks outside and in the shadows, and you see the window lit up in the background with Mother sitting in the window. What a fantastic finale to a fantastic movie that should not have worked, but
Yes.
by God, I'm glad it did.
Absolutely.
And Tom Holland, by the way, is a jewel at that time in the horror community that no one even talks about these days, but he wrote some great movies, and that was one that he wrote as well.
This is another one where we're coming back. We're following the original theme, but we're also hitting. We're 22 years later.
Yeah,
like he's being released. I love the intro into this. It makes it accessible to the film because the film, obviously, for many reasons, is considered one of the best. The
oh,
original,
absolutely.
but as far as a true horror movie to sit and watch, good slasher film of the 80s, boys, this one it, man.
I'm telling you.
It's good. It's really good.
You know, the Halloween 2 tie-in, right? I'm gonna stretch a little bit here. I'm gonna stretch a little bit.
Okay.
In the 80s, Halloween 2 decided they were gonna make Jamie Lee Curtis be Michael's long estranged sister. In Psycho 2, then a lady that you've only met once is actually Michael's real mother, the lady that he kills at the end, which, by the way, they retconned in 3, thank God. But the fact that she was the actual killer, and the way she got it with the knife in the mouth at the end, I was just like, oh my God, just so
rough deal.
yeah, very rough. I mean, because if you look at the original Psycho under today's standards, it's pretty tame.
Oh, absolutely.
But Psycho 2 they really just pumped up the volume on that. So
They gave it to you.
Yeah, good job, Tom Holland. We love you. Thank God that you're not the Spider-Man.
Right.
But you're the horror writer that gave us some great movies.
True.
All
and
right.
A little tidbit on this one.
Yeah.
They considered going to John Williams to score it. They considered. It ended up being Jerry Goldsmith.
Yep.
Did a decent job with the soundtrack for the movie. But
the only problem that I had with it at all is the only time they really used the original soundtrack, which was so iconic, was during the flashback scenes at the beginning. I think they could have used a little bit more during, like, maybe some of the kill scenes where, and then you see the knife.
Really hit it.
But it just hit me. You know why they didn't do that? Because it wasn't him making the kills. It wasn't Mother making the kills.
It's true.
All right, I forgive it. I just made my mind. It's fine.
You're welcome.
Next.
Yep. Okay, so this was where we got really hard on where I have some newer ones, some older ones, some right around the same time. The 80s are a hard place to get out of once you start looking at sequels. We had some great series come through the 80s. The slasher films, the creepy doll films, the demonic films.
Yes.
There's just so much going on. Hellraiser 2. We won't get into those. I had to settle back and pull back a little bit. Sam Raimi, Evil Dead 2. We get almost a reboot, because you could argue reboot.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's not going back out to another cabin in the woods. Or is he? We don't really know. It has the 2 on there, so I'm sticking with it's a sequel.
I have to step away from the camera for just a second, but I'm still here.
Okay. So I'm sticking with it. There's a 2, Alan, so it's a sequel, and we're sticking with that. We get an enhanced Evil Dead experience between the horror, the dread, the blood, the campiness. Ash is a national treasure, and I don't think he gets all of the credit he should be getting for this movie. Sam Raimi coming in and co-writing this puts it over the top. I know LG. LG's not a fan of the Evil Dead series. This isn't Army of Darkness. That I could consider a guilty pleasure on how ridiculous that way. Bruce Campbell, top tier right here in this movie. I have to give it 1987.
I agree with you wholeheartedly, and I apologize for leaving like it. That was work, and it was an emergency, so I had to answer his question. This is so close to being a remake, so close. But
it's like I said, it has a 2.
It does have a 2, and I'm good with it. And I'll tell you why I'm good with it. Here's the funny part about it is because it is not. It is still. It's not. It's not a 3. It's not the full out comedic.
No, but the humor you do get is fun.
Exactly. It's more like the original. It's just bigger. It's just meaner. I think you're good. I think you're good calling that. And I agree with you. I actually purposely didn't pick this because I knew you were going to.
I have to. If I had the poster, I put it up on the wall. I love this movie. It's it is one of the better remakes of a movie. It's a better sequel to a movie, and it has to get up there. There's some honorable mentions that I will get to right around that same time period. Late 80s into the 90s was a good time for me with my love of movies. But I'm curious to where we're going to go as far as Alan and honorable mentions. Because, like we explained in the beginning, this was rough. This was difficult to try to come in at between 3 and 5 movies that make the grade when it comes to being a sequel. Not necessarily better than, because there are some we could talk about. Well, we have talked about Ouija 2, Mike Flanagan's prequel to the original, which being completely superior. So
Absolutely. So let me just before I go into my last final pick, let me give you one of my honorable mentions and why it's an honorable mention. We have to talk about Friday the 13th too as an honorable mention because that gave us Jason.
it did.
Right, it gave us Jason. Now 3 gave us the hockey mask, but 2 gave us Jason. Even with the burlap sack and the eye and everything, it at that point to me is when and 3's included in this, but that's the point when we had the scary Jason, because it felt more like the guy coming out of the woods versus the
We got our monster.
right, but before we got to the supernatural zombie that we got in 5, right?
Well, the one that's in space in 10.
I'm not even going there with you.
Oh, that's in a list of our rules to stay alive in life in general and not find yourself in a horror movie. Don't pack the creepy, undead, never dying slasher in any type of sleep storage and bring him to space with you.
Yep. And I'm sorry, they keep they've got.
Sometimes we are needed away. That's why we take some breaks here and there. So I'm going to go with a quick honorable mention here. 1990, Child's Play 2, bringing back poor Andy, bringing back. I love the fact that we have the campiness of the toy company going, oh my goodness, what should we do? Well, how about we go ahead and grab the doll that caused all these problems and rebuild him?
Yeah, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I almost picked this one too.
A good sequel. I would say it's probably better than the first, although the first sits in my heart. But the second one, there's something about the things that happen in the second one that make it so much fun. We really get Chucky. It's Chucky before he breaks away with Tiffany.
Yeah,
and we go that route. We really get a Charles Lee Ray.
Yep, I agree with you on this one. I agree with you. And the reason I almost picked it is because it's simply because of the final scene. The Chucky in a toy factory. Oh my God, what a great way to do it!
You're like, oh, it's not over.
No, what a great way to do it. The only reason I'll say that I like the first one better, and literally this is the only reason, because I agree with you. 2 is where where Chucky starts to come into his own. Is I like the dynamic of the mom and child, and the fact that they used another girl as a surrogate mom in the second one kind of threw me off. But I'm not mad about it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not mad about it at all.
Nope. Yeah, that first one with the mother, you really catch it hard, especially at that time. The working extra hours trying to provide, and it really hits home. Like I said, it sits in the heart. But boy, is the second one fun.
Well, and in the scene where she checked the batteries and there was no batteries, and then his head flipped around, to me, I'm like, that was
stupid.
That was a great movie. All right, so the introduction that I wrote to this one, it's kind of a longer one. Please be patient with me. This is not only, in my opinion, a superior sequel. This is, in my opinion, one of my favorite horror movies ever. I know it's not popular to say this, but to me, Dr. Sleep is a better story than The Shining. All right, I say that to say this.
Buddy.
Okay. It takes The Shining and it allows it to do what most sequels are terrified to do. It allows it to grow up, get sober, and still manages to scare the shit out of you. Mike Flanagan's 2019 gem takes our favorite trike rider of hotel hallways into adulthood, Mr. Danny Torrance. Now a recovering alcoholic haunted by daddy's axe wielding ghost, and gives him something Kubrick's Overlook never offered: actual character development that came with a 12-step program. Instead of just rehashing red rum, elevator blood, it asks the deep questions. What happens when the kid who survived the world's worst winter vacation becomes the become the world's most reluctant AA sponsor? A cleverly stitched together King's original novel and the one that King actually likes, of course, and a QBX masterpiece. He really did walk that that wire of being able to touch the past with the respect, as well as to touch King's work, as well as to make his own story. The Return to the Overlook in this feels less like lazy nostalgia and more like a very expensive therapy session with better lighting and worse ghost. Ewan McGregor shines, pun very intended. Kylie Curran is the pint-sized badass. Rebecca Ferguson's Rose the Hat is so menacing she could probably sell you overpriced essential oils while still stealing your soul. It's creepy, it's heartfelt, it's occasionally funny, and mostly when Dan realizes his childhood trauma now comes with a side of vampire cannibals and a teenager who can outsass him. In short, it respects the original, honors King's themes, delivers legitimate chills, and somehow makes revisiting the Overlook feel less like a bad idea and more like closure, with an extra steam powered ghost explosion. Very good. Perfection. Thank you very much.
Again, this is probably, we love Mr. Flanagan here at Grave Reviews.
Yes, we do.
Thursday Night Frights. We have a lot of things here, but the man hits here. I'm with you. The Shining, Stanley Kubrick. It is a film that will always go down as a legend.
Yes, it will.
However, when we come to source material, it is less so.
Yes.
Stanley Kubrick had a vision for this. Stephen King had been very vocal about not liking his vision for this story. He did take a lot of creative turns where Dr. Sleep actually doesn't retcon, but is able to bring that back, which is a lovely connection to it in Welcome to Derry, where we have the connection to our wonderful cook of our hotel nestled away
in snow from hell,
right? And brings him back and teach the lockbox, man. The whole being able to take your demons and put them away and throw away the key, and that's where they are. You can't get rid of them, but they can't go anywhere.
Yep, they can't bother you anymore.
Yeah, wonderful play. I'm going to. It's funny because I had to bring up where my notes were, because I'm going to copy and paste in the chat exactly what I had.
You had this on your list, didn't you?
On this list, Dr. Sleep 2019, Flanagan. As long as Alan does not pick it, in parentheses, he's gonna pick it.
It's funny. We know each other so well, because as soon as I was making my list, I wrote Evil Dead 2 down and I just crossed it off. Said no, that Chris will talk about that.
There is there's a couple on here. I was gonna say Pearl. Yeah. But it was like, put that one over there. We already covered it. We're obviously up there.
Well, it's funny because I literally said to Chris, I said, hey, I'm going to try my best to not touch our shit list, but I couldn't pass this one because to me, that movie is not, it's not as good as The Thing by any means. But as far as modern horror is concerned, I think it's one of the best things that's been made in a long time, because not only do we love Danny Torrance and Ewan McGregor, but Rose the Hat is a great
character.
What a great villain.
the way she's so calculating through the whole thing and recalculating as she's learning more and more about what she's up against. Right. This is true.
This is true. This is true.
It's a grave review piece of mind.
It is. So that is my full list. I have a couple of honorable mentions. Do you have another one that you would like to present before
I will? I'm going to say something. I'm only doing this because when we talk about sequels and how great how sequels can be better than the originals. There's a lot of them out there. Terminator 2. I've said it. It's superior to the first one.
Yes.
First one is a beautiful film.
Mm-hmm.
But 2 is better.
Aliens
2 was on my list. I think Aliens 2 is the last step before we really jump to science fiction and horror. It's still, to me, Aliens 1 and Aliens 2 was be afraid of the dark, be afraid of space. Like, it's still that space horror.
Yeah, it was the thing in space. I got you.
Right. Right. I am going to say for our viewer, the one that makes it into the intro video claiming that Sharknado is a piece of cinematic. No, Sharknado 2. This one has to make the list, man. It makes the list because Sharknado 1 was dumb. It's fun because it's dumb, but it's really dumb.
Yeah.
Sharknado 2, they threw like another $6 into the pool for making it.
I thought it was more like $5.50, but okay, go ahead.
$5.50, tax. I'm working on inflation here in 2020.
Oh, okay, yeah, with time difference.
Yeah, $40 is $20, kind of thing. So, they threw some more money in the kitty. Sharknado 2 comes out of the gate swinging. The people that hated this movie and were like, "This is stupid," all wanted in on
absolutely.
Sharknado 2 and beyond. It kept going because the list of people that signed up for it, that hated on it, that needed to be in it to apologize for hating on it, was so big they had to keep making Sharknadoes.
I'm going to tell you right now, I love the fact that during the filming of Sharknado, the people who filmed in it were trying their best to legally get their names taken off the bill.
Right.
And then by 2, they were like, we got a cash cow. Let's go.
Yep.
And it was
that one guy that was like, I don't want to take a salary. I just want to take a hit of the royalties. Is like, oh my God, I'm glad I did.
Because they lean into it so hard, and that's okay, and that's why it works, right? You and I have talked about this. When you get this kind of movie, Zombiever, Thanksgiving, Sharknado 2, once you start to lean into the silliness, that's when the movie actually works. So yes, I agree with you, Miss LG. You are right. Sharknado 2 is much better than the first one.
Much better. And I will say it's probably somewhere in the top 5, maybe even top 3 of chainsaw moves in horror movies. It doesn't beat Leatherface and it doesn't beat Ash. However, Ian Ziering, he cut a shark up. He cut a bitch.
From the inside out. I love it.
From the inside out.
Love it.
Outside in, inside out. It's the best survival of a character in a movie you've ever seen. Definitely no plot armor used. When you got a chainsaw, you go right past the teeth.
You do. So was that on your list, or was that actually a?
It made it on the list. It's not because LG's in the chat. I had to put it there because it is clearly a sequel that is better than its predecessor. And this one, I think, really started the motion for the bandwagon that, there's going to be a 3 and a 4, and we're going to go for a little bit because they made so much on, I think, the second one that they could keep going if they wanted to.
So I'm gonna give you an honorable mention, and all I'm going to do is just show a picture, and I think that everyone here is going to know what that is. Are you ready?
Okay.
This is the honorable mention.
Sticks with you, man. Sticks with you. You let that guy go ahead of you on the highway if you see it.
When Mara and I lived in Wyoming, in the state of Wyoming, there was a logging was a big part of the culture out there. And I'm telling you what, we'd come up behind one of those trucks probably once a week and be like, "Fuck no, no." you know,
Now I pull. There's a lot of logging that goes around here, and if you get behind one once in a while, you're like, well, I guess it's that time.
yeah, which is
Shit.
funny. Okay, so a guy at work once told me this the other day. It was so funny he said it because what's funny is everyone's so freaked out about log trucks, DOT regulated, chained, inspected log trucks, but they'll get behind Julio with 35 ladders on the top of his truck and never think twice about it. And I go, I've seen what happens when a ladder comes off the top of a truck. So I don't play that game either. So yeah, honorable mention, Final Destination 2. I actually liked the movie better than I liked the first one.
It was good.
But yeah, that log truck scene sticks with everybody. Everybody. Do you have another
Yeah.
honorable mention, sir?
This is where it got hard to really pull away from the twos and the remakes and which is which. I think it needs to be said. Scream 1, great movie.
Yes.
Wonderful idea. I am a huge fan of Matthew Lillard.
Yes.
So Scream was a great series. Scream 2, excellent sequel.
Very good. Yes.
Excellent sequel. I'm a fan of Neve Campbell. She's a beautiful woman. Love you, Neve. But this movie was wild. What a wild ride.
Absolutely correct. I'm with you on that. I think 1 and 2 are like the pinnacle of the series. I really do. I'm not a big fan of, or I'm not a big hater of any of them. I think they're all enjoyable, but 1 and 2 were very, very good.
Fun.
I'm going to throw this one at you. Back to the 80s, Texas Chainsaw 2. It gave us Chop Top. Gotta love
That-
with the coat hanger, and yeah. Dennis Hopper with chainsaws. Gotta love it.
That's winning, dude. That is a winning solution right there.
It was so goofy and over the top because there was no way they knew there was no way for them to compete with the first one. The first one is one of those movies that you watch it and you feel dirty just because of how it's filmed and it was on a shoestring budget. Just that's the movie to me. That movie and Halloween, the first Halloween, that says the right director, whether they have money or not, can make a film that will scare you. And both of those movies did, and they were both independent. I mean, think about this for a second. Chainsaw was a bunch of college friends, right? They all went to school together. And John LaRoquette, before he was Dan Fielding in Night Court, did the narration for it, and he was just a friend that they had in school. Had no clue that and it's just
where this was going to go. That kind of knit, tight knit friendship, I think, really comes out in the quality of the movie. Texas 2 was definitely a better movie. And fun. I mean, it's up there, man. Leatherface, he's one of the guys you got to know.
Yep.
You really should know. And I'm not saying you're wrong if you don't like it or anything. I'm just saying you should know him. Leatherface he is a very impressive figure when it comes to monsters.
And he was a child in the first one, the way he acted, and he was a young adolescent in the second one. So I thought that was a good
progression.
And then my final that I have to bring up, and it's only because of the pure love that I have for the movie growing up. I can't tell you how many times I saw it as a teenager. Halloween 2, the original Halloween 2, the movie that made, begrudgingly made Jamie Lee Curtis and Michael Myers brother and sister, unfortunately. But it is also the movie that made Michael more than a man. And
supernatural aspect.
Yeah, supernatural aspect. It was much gorier. It was much more aggressive. It was much more 80s, right? And even though Jamie Lee Curtis spent most of the movie in a hospital bed and wearing a really, really bad wig, the kills in this movie were they stuck with me, man. The hammer, the clogs falling off the feet with the the
Yeah.
the hot tub, way too hot. They stuck with me as a young man, and solidified my love for. Boy, that sounds gross, doesn't it? All these kills stuck with me, but they solidified my love for Michael Myers. Now you know who I am, right? Um,
Yeah.
yeah. Who knew that William Shatner could be so scary? That's all I can say about that.
True.
So
He's a little scary.
those are
You whitewash him a little bit.
yep. So those are my choices. Like them, great. Let me know. Don't like them, great. Let me know.
Yeah.
Right.
Honorable mentions as far as I'm concerned. Just a quick mention is Hellbound, Hellraiser 2.
Mhm.
This is where we take Pinhead, and bring him away from. The first one was a very strange movie, especially for when I saw it. Very strange.
I didn't care for it.
Yeah, it's not everybody's cup of tea. I think the second one, when we really start diving into the Cenobites and the lore behind uh, these creatures of lust and pain and pleasure and great. It's if you like that kind of thing, oh, it's good. It's good. Dude took me into where like I'm in here. I love Pinhead. And so we've got another quick one would be where are you here? Split.
Great choice.
Wonderful
Great
Steve.
choice.
What a movie. I mean, as a movie and the twists and turns we take in this
Yep.
and the ending, which should never be spoiled because it is such a special ending.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it carries over into Mr. Glass. This is a superhero movie.
Kinda.
Kind
and the
It's this is where we have Unbreakable. We're coming from a superhero movie to the another mutant that's not so superhero.
yeah, and I didn't know that this was even a part of a trilogy until after the movie was over and we found out it was a part of a trilogy. I was like, I thought it was just a standalone movie, and I was like,
Oh,
and then
gosh.
you see Bruce Willis at the end, and you're like, what? I
What?
just
Oh,
spoiled it. Ugh, I'm sorry, I just spoiled it. Damn it! You just
yeah,
said we should spoil it, and I did. I'm so sorry, everybody.
yeah. No, James McAvoy.
Wait a minute.
And-
Bloom, 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 bloom. Okay, we just went back. We're not there.
We're
So
back.
yeah, and then that thing happened at the end, and I was like, "Holy crap! It's
Oh,
it's a
yeah,
sequel."
right. It was great. M Light, Shamalama Ding Dong. He kills it in this one, dude.
Yeah, he does. This is one of
Kills
the
it in
good
this
ones.
one. Scary movie. Make you feel uncomfortable for a long ways through this movie. It
Well,
is a psychological horror to put yourself in the victim's mind, but also watching the victims. You're very uncomfortable.
oh,
Um,
absolutely, and how much they went into our villain's mind. It actually made you feel bad for him because of all the personality
yeah,
splits and
just
all that. What a great movie! What a great
great movie. Yeah,
yeah. Who knew that Charles Xavier was such a good actor? I mean,
right.
put a wig on him, and he could do all kinds of stuff.
Boy, he's great. Those are my honorable mentions that I chose out of the multitude.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah,
but
I
I
wish
think we could keep going if we wanted to. We don't have to rank them. I
no.
only ranked one of them for OG reasons.
Yeah, and again, I'm so glad you chose the ones you did. I loved all of those movies. Again, Bride of Frankenstein. It's got a special place in my heart. Frankenstein itself has a special place in my heart. So,
Yep.
yeah, I love that. That's awesome. We could spend months breaking down and talking about universal horror, and then we'd have to turn out and spend months to a year talking about hammer horror. So
Hammer horror, yeah. I mean, not that we won't, but we do have a wheel that just keeps getting more and more movies on it.
well, we've already done one hammer film. We did do the
They're on
twins.
there, man.
Wait a
We'll
minute.
get there.
Twins of Evil.
Of evil.
Evil. Oh, so great.
Yep.
Yep.
Oh, this was a fun episode. As hard as it was,
Yes.
we got to talk about some great movies in a short period of time. Fun going over this. I can't wait for part 2, the requel.
Next week is part 2, the requel, where we're going to talk about movie remakes and what our favorites are. And I'm telling you right now, I've already got my list working on it, man. I took the stuff out of the one I've got. As a matter of fact, I almost put one of them in tonight. I went, no, that's not a sequel. That's a requel. I got to pull it right back out.
I promise I will leave Evil Dead 2 out of that. Out of that mix. We've already established out of 2. So
yes, but I'm not gonna promise.
well, that's just me. I'm not gonna fight you on it.
I'm not gonna promise that I don't put the the Evil Dead from the 2000s.
Might make it there somewhere.
It might make the list. Who knows?
Never know.
That movie. That's one of the few movies that the very beginning of it really freaked me out. The barn scene. Oh, I was like, oh, that's hard to watch.
We're starting off like this.
Yeah, with my upbringing, I was like, oh, I don't want to go into details. My wife's listening, and I don't want to freak her out. But I was like, holy crap, that's hard.
Yeah. Maybe a little poo came out,
Yeah, just a little, just a boo. Oh, I think I went like this. I went, okay, it's far enough away now. I can see it.
Yeah, we're good.
We're good now. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Chris, is there anything you'd like to say before we sign off tonight?
Yeah, as the wonderful LG put in the chat, go to bio.link/GraveRev, and that'll find the links to all of our socials where you can reach out to us. You can like our stuff. Make sure you hit the sub button, slash the sub it, stab it, and slash that little thing. Right. Ring the bell like it's tolling for somebody. Personalize it. Let them have YouTube let you know when we're going live, which is Thursdays for Thursday Night Frights at 8 p.m. Eastern. Again, reach out to us on any of the socials. If you see a movie you think we should cover, let us know. We have a large wheel that we will spin after the 2s, after next week. And we'll get back to our normally, blind, what are we watching this week? And we'll get back to that. Right now we're having some fun with the 2s and Februaries. So stay spooky out there and think of what the best remake you think, and show up next week and let us know what your top 3 are.
Absolutely. I tell you what would be fun. I'm going to challenge you right now. In the chat room, ladies and gentlemen who are there that now, we already know that Sharknado's 2 is going to win, and 3 and 4 are probably going to show up on the list. In the comment section, let us know your top 2 or 3, right? And then next week, show up with at least one remake that you absolutely love. Let us know what that is as well. And because we would like to look at it and go, oh, you know what? We forgot about that. That's a great one. Or, hey, Alan, you're full of crap. The one that you picked, which is already on my list, I'm not saying what it is a stinker. That's fine too. If you don't, you don't. If you do,
no judgments here.
So until we meet next week, where we're going to go through the requels or 2s part 2.
Yeah, part 2.
Part 2. Make all of your nightmares be groovy. See you later, everybody.